Hello, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be going over the gods again. As you saw, it probably says like Gods Part 2 in the title. You don't really need to watch Part 1 to understand this one though, so if this is my first video of mine you've seen, watch the rest of them, but also watch this one. So first off, since we already talked about other gods in the last video, today we're going to be talking about the old gods, or the realm gods, as I call them. And there's 10 of them, each being the god of a specific element, that being water, earth, fire, air, ice, thunder, plants, metal, shadow, and magic. Some of them are identical, some of them are similar, and some are completely different from the elements of Serinosis. Now, I won't be telling you, like, exactly what happened to these gods or anything, but I will be showing, like, the god, their name, some things about them, and probably, like, the demigods that they have, canonically, that I've made at this point, and then also probably, like, beta or alternate designs for them. So it only feels fair that we start off with the first demigod ever designed, and the first one made as part of this work, because originally I just wanted to make a new design for the Iron Wyvern, also known as Kolg, and I made him, and then I decided why not do the other 9, so that's how this video came to be. So yeah, his name is Kolg, no, and all of them are like nicknames, alternate names, so he's called the Iron Wyvern, and he's the god of metal. And basically, that's about it. As far as we know, he doesn't have any demigods canonically yet. He will at some point. All of them have at least one demigod each. So yeah, and here is his beta design. And it's not his very first design, but it's the first, like, official design, I'll call him, because I knew the purpose behind it at that point. Like, at that point, when I was designing him, I knew he was going to be the god of the metal type. And as you can see, I think it looks a bit better now. Next up, we have Ginlas, the god of plants, and her name is the Wise Druid. So she basically looks like this. She's kind of like elvish in a sense, with the ears and stuff. And she's basically supposed to be some kind of nature, elf, enchantress lady. And so, she kind of has a demigod already designed, but kind of not. As you can see here, we have the Green Knight. Which, I mean, he's mostly brown, but whatever. I was pretty dumb when I made this, but besides the point. The Green Knight is not a demigod, however, it is basically an army of, like, beings made by Ginlas, and all of them together are the strength of, like, one demigod. So she made a demigod, then split it up into a bunch of pieces, and it became an army of the Green Knights. So this is one in the army, and all of them together are a demigod, and they're, like, immortal-like demigods and stuff like that. They're basically just weaker versions of demigods, because they're all, like, split up power. Next, we have Zarutar, also known as the Thunder General. He looks like this, and as of now, there's 2 demigods designed and, like, came up with that are, like, associated with him. And there's, like, an interesting story behind them. The 2 of them being the Lightning Prince and Columbinum. And I guess now that we're here, I should address it. Most of them have 2 elements, because they basically combine the energies of 2 of the different gods together when creating them. So Columbinum is thunder and ice, and then the Lightning Prince is just thunder. And there's a whole story behind them, because there was a point of time where the gods were still alive, and the demigods were alive, so they did interact, if it's not for that long, at least on a cosmic scale, but it did happen. So basically there's a whole, like, drama, because, like, he treated him like his only, like, son, in a sense, and made Columbinum basically like a servant or worker for him, which caused a bunch of issues in the future that culminated in the Red War, where he betrays him. So yeah. Next we have the Ice God, Crythithin, also known as the Frost Titan. He looks like this, he's pretty cool, and so far he has 2 demigods, that being the Empyrean Penguin and Columbinum, as we just talked about. And something I, like, did with his design is how, because coincidentally, both of the demigods that I made for him at this point were, like, more, like, animal or beast-like, so I decided, hey, why not have him be, like, full-on, like, Yeti monster? So canonically, I think, all his demigods are going to be like this, where they're, like, animalistic. Because as you can see, other than Korg, all of them are like human, all the gods. Next up, we have Phyros, the the flaming spirit, and he looks like this. And I haven't fully decided on him, whether he's like a good guy or not. I've kind of bounced back and forth between him being like evil and not evil. So he's kind of morally gray at this point. And I know you may have forgotten, because I haven't talked about it since the first one, but the next four all have beta designs. So here's Beta Phyros. I think of the beta designs, this is the one that got the most improvement. I think some of them look like straight up wars, going from page to other page. But I think this one came out, like, better. And as of now, we don't know any demigods of him. And now we have a Velos. And she is the Winds Genie is her nickname. And yeah, she looks vaguely like that, and is the goddess or whatever of the sky. Here's her beta design, which was a traced image. But even then, I think it might be a little bit better, like the colors, which were chosen by me. The pose is also better, but that's just because I'm not very good at posing. So far, the only air demigod... Well, actually, we know of two, so... Here, I almost forgot about this one, so we'll talk about that one last, because that's like a pure wind demigod. Well, the sea serpent, is water and air, and he's mainly like... Because all of the demigods, like, lean towards one of their, like, parents or elements, as opposed to the other. Like, of course... And then there's the ones that are just a single element, which obviously are most associated with the element they are. So this guy's mainly water, so I'll talk about him more in the water segment. Like how I talked about Columna more with the, like, lightning segment. Then we have the Sky Serpent, which was made almost as, like, a parallel to the Sea Serpent. And they're kind of, like... And they kind of have a relationship, like, you know, platonic and stuff. And then, yeah. So that's basically what they're like, and that's about it I can think of. Now we have Turok, also known as the Living Mountain, who is, of course, the Earth-type god. And he has his design, and he has his beta design. I think, in general, both are pretty good. I think this one, like, the shape of the face I like more. But this one for being actually colored and being almost the same, I think I like the official more. Also, the colors are about the same for the, like, glowing crystals and stuff. So far, we don't know any demigods of the element, though. And now, last off, we have Avendia. Oh, not Avendia. Sorry, we have Orosos, known as the Wave Maker, and he looks like this. Obviously based off of, like, different interpretations like Poseidon, with his trident there. And he's the only one, like, well, there's a few doing, like, magic, but, like, he's the one with, like, his weapon in it. And his beta design looks like this. And I think I like his new design more. Yeah, I think I do. But I do kind of like the idea of, like, the tail thing, but I wanted him to be able to be, like, good in land and water, so the tail wouldn't exactly work. Maybe it's, like, two different forms, so it can change for this one in water, then on land he's got, like, the weird tentacles. I don't know. Maybe. As I mentioned, or promised, the sea serpent, mainly associated with him, because he lives in, like, the realm of water and stuff. And basically, he's got, like, kind of, like, mixed feelings of his Papa Water God. Now, these two I wanted to do together as the finale, because they're the most important. First, we have Shadix, the Cloaked Judge, and we have Mathos, the Purple Wizard. And the two of them are very important because the, like, main characters of, like, the first part of my story are their demigods. First off, we have the first of all the demigods, in lore, not canonically. In lore, not, like, in real life. We have the Blue Mage, who has several different iterations, but this is, like, his first iteration, and his main iteration, like, as a demigod. His other iterations are for, like, different things. And then we have the Void King, also known as Shadrev, but later took on the name the Void King. And yeah. And then there's some fun facts about them. Like, Shadix, I call him the Cloak Judge, because my idea is, like, he's a very, like, because he's cloaked, literally, by shadow, and, of course, his literal, actual cloak. And then also, I decided he'd be like a judge, almost like an arbiter. And the reason I did that is because the Void King, for a long time, is like the villain. That on top of like being the shadow type, which literally had a skull and crossbones as its symbol, I felt like people would associate shadow with like evil. So I decided making him like probably the most virtuous out of all of the gods would be a good way to show that like shadow isn't inherently evil. And then we have Mathos, who looks like this. I like his design. And then I added like a more like pointy hat. Originally it was just a normal hood, but then I added this because, you know, I wanted him to feel like the archetypical, like baseline, like what you think of as a wizard. And of course, that's probably Gandalf, who had the pointy hat. So yeah. So there's all the 10 gods. These are not like official designs, but nothing's really official at this point. It's still relatively new. Eventually, I'll probably put them on the index cards like I did the gods from part 1. So like these ones, I'll probably put them down and have like a more official design. So yeah, I hope you liked. If you did, please like and stuff and subscribe. That would be nice. Bye.